HTMX is like HTML is given superpowers. It gives you access to some of the great features directly in HTML. For example, it supports ajax, which is a core of HTMX and is a set of attributes that allow you to issue ajax requests directly from HTML. You can send a GET request, POST request, PUT request, patch request, and delete request to the given URL. HTMX makes it easy to use CSS transitions without JavaScript. For example, in this demo, the color of this div is changing very smoothly. You can also create a progress bar using CSS transition. Also, this content swapping animation is very cool. If you wish to establish a WebSocket connection in HTMX, you can use the ajax attribute. The connection declaration establishes the connection, and the send declaration tells the form to submit values to the socket on submit. HTMX also supports server sent events, which are a way for servers to send events to browsers. It provides a higher level mechanism for communication between the server and the browser than WebSockets. So with HTMX, you can build modern user interfaces with the simplicity and the power of hypertext. HTMX is also very small in size. It is around 14 kilobytes when minimized and gzip. It is dependency free. It also provides an extension mechanism for defining and using extensions within HTMX based applications. When compared with React, it has a reduced code base size by 67%. There is even an example where a real world SaaS product was converted from React to HTMX. They said, we took the plunge and replaced the 2-year work of React UI of our SaaS product with simple Django templates and HTMX in a couple of months. This effort took only about 2 months, and there is no reduction in application's user experience. They reduced their total JavaScript dependencies by 96% from a whopping 255 to only 9. They reduced their web build time 88% from 40 seconds to only 5. Also very important for SEO, first load time to interactive was reduced by 50 to 60% from 2 to 6 seconds to 1 to 2 seconds. At last, web application memory usage was reduced by 46% from 75 MB to 45 MB. These are some eye-popping numbers, and you should also try HTMX in your project. When the project was in React, there were 2 backend developers, one front-end developer and one full-stack developer. And interestingly, after the port to HTMX, the entire team become full-stack developers. You can also download a copy of that, or you can use npm to use it. Ajax requests can be simply made by writing them with ajax hyphen in any HTML element. You can use ajax trigger to customize the trigger behavior. You can even use the ajax trigger to get a response from an API after a particular time. You could even delay a response from an API. With HTMX indicator class, you can let the user know that something is happening since the browser will not give them any feedback. With ajax target attribute, you can load the response into different element other than the one that made the request. HTMX offers a few different ways to swap the HTML returned into the DOM. Inner HTML of the target element can be replaced with the ajax swap attribute. With ajax sync attribute, you can coordinate the requests between 2 elements. Also, HTMX allows to use various CSS transitions without JavaScript. It also supports experimental view transitions API that provides a mechanism for easily creating animated transitions between different DOM states. Suppose if you want to swap content from a response directly into the DOM by using the ID attribute, you can use the ajax swap ob attribute. With ajax boost attribute, regular HTML anchors and forms can be boosted. It will convert all anchor tags and forms into ajax requests that by default are at the body of the page. HTMX has experimental support for declarative use of both WebSockets and server sent events. With ajax attribute, a WebSocket connection inside HTMX can be established. With ajax attribute, events from the server can be sent to browser. It even supports interaction with browser history API through ajax push URL attribute. HTMX also supports client-side form validation to ensure that all required form controls are filled out in the correct format. It also provides an extension mechanism for defining and using extensions within HTMX-based applications. There are lots of tried and tested extensions that you can use inside your application. HTMX integrates fairly well with the third-party libraries. For example, here sortable JavaScript library is used, which allows sorting of items through drag and drop. There is also support for caching through standard HTTP caching mechanism out of the box. Security of HTMX applications is also taken care of. You can even configure HTMX through programmatically or declaratively. Lots of UI examples are implemented in HTMX with minimal HTML and styling. For example, click to edit a form, bulk updating of multiple rows inside a table, loading more data inside a table, deletion of a table row, an example of lazy loading, an infinite scroll, an example of active search. You can even use a browser prompt to enter a like string or something else, and then it will ask another question, are you sure? Then again click on OK, then it will show the exact string on the browser. These are tabs created in HTMX. A click me example with hyperscript click and custom event. And also a click me example with vanilla.js and ajax confirm attribute.